Welcome back to Press Review. Let's start by taking a look at today's front pages in the Middle East. The UAE's Khalij Times leads reporting that sponsoring families in Dubai has become dearer for expatriates who must now draw a minimum individual monthly salary of 10,000 dirhams or 9,000 dirhams with accommodation. The paper also reports that Ukraine ordered the expulsion of Russia's military attaché, saying it had caught him red-handed receiving classified information on the country's cooperation with NATO during an armed uprising Kiev says is directed from Moscow. From Saudi Arabia, the Arab News reports that King Abdullah dedicated a 2 billion Saudi riyal sports city named after him to the Saudi people. The paper also reports that Abdul Rahman Al Zamil, president of the Council of Saudi Chambers, said that substandard and fake products worth billions of dollars are being dumped in the kingdom by mafias in Israel and Iran. Israel's Jerusalem Post reports that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has pledged to promote a Knesset basic law defining Israel as a Jewish state, telling critics they cannot demand Jerusalem withdraw from the West Bank to protect the country's Jewish identity and then be unwilling to recognise that Jewish identity. It also reports that as Israel prepares to celebrate its 66th birthday, the Central Bureau of Statistics released a report estimating the country's population at 8.18 million. From Lebanon, the Daily Star reports Cabinet will hold a meeting at Babda Palace after a dispute between President Michel Sleiman and the Hezbollah-led March 8th coalition over public appointments was apparently resolved. It also reports that Beirut's acting governor, Nassif Karlouch, has resigned from his post, weeks after a former employee accused him of sexual harassment. The Egypt Independent reports that the Presidential Elections Commission has notified presidential hopeful Hamdine Sabahi of his violation of the election rules after he held a press conference to explain his platform. The paper also reports that France said it had deported an Algerian national suspected of recruiting young French Muslims to join the Syrian civil war, the first such case since Paris unveiled a raft of policies to stop its citizens from becoming radicalised. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East news from UK papers. The Telegraph leads its Middle East news reporting that deaths from terrorism worldwide rose by more than 60% last year amid surging violence in Iraq and Syria, according to the US State Department. The paper says a total of 17,891 people were killed by terrorists in 2013, compared to 11,098 the year before, while the number of attacks rose by more than 40%. The Guardian reports that one Egyptian soldier was killed and at least 7 more people wounded in 2 suicide attacks in South Sinai. A third bomb killed a policeman at a traffic security post near a courthouse in Cairo and wounded at least 3 others. And here's the top Middle East news in international papers. China's Global Times reports that registration for Syria's contentious June 3rd presidential vote was wrapped up Thursday with 24 contenders, including incumbent President Bashar al-Assad, according to the Syrian parliament. The head of the Supreme Constitutional Court, Judge Adnan Zoraik, was quoted by state news agency SANA saying that the applications of the 24 contenders are going to be studied by the court in accordance with the electoral law and constitution. The International New York Times leads its Middle East news reporting that suicide bombers attacked a security checkpoint and a civilian bus in the south of the Sinai Peninsula, killing 1 police officer and wounding at least 7 people, according to Egypt's Interior Ministry. The paper says the spate of violence renewed concerns that militants are planning to intensify their attacks in the weeks leading up to Egypt's presidential election, scheduled for the end of May. And finally, from Germany, the Deutsche Welle reports that negotiators involved in drafting an outline for an Israeli-Palestinian peace plan failed to meet their deadline this week, with US Secretary of State John Kerry saying, "We believe the best thing to do right now is pause, take a hard look at these things and find out what is possible and what is not possible in the days ahead." For more updates, please visit levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Please join us again on Monday. Bye for now.